we have a look at Juliet Okebo in the snatch, lifted up 100 kilos, and this is her lift that set herself up in the B group. The interesting thing about Okebo is actually she didn't actually produce the top performance. That was actually Hadisa Zakari of Nigeria, who put together 115. Here she is, 115, and then 125 for the clean and jerk to 240 kilos. So actually coming into this final, 115 kilos, this lift leads the competition as we get set for the first attempt. Hadisa Zakari from Nigeria. Well, this is going to be a fascinating competition. Sit back with Randy Strossen and myself, David Goldstrom, to see how this unfolds. So here we go with the women's 75 kilo championship of the world. Randy Strossen together with myself, David Goldstrom. The first attempt coming from Mary Opologi from Samoa. Fifth in the Commonwealth Games, and last season the senior and junior Oceanic champion. In the Commonwealth Games, totaled up 214, and Mary, just 19 years of age, looking this evening to add another 16 kilos to that total. She is improving, and she is only 19. Good to see a good lift to get us. Well, I said a good lift.
It was pretty soft looking, I thought.
You thought it was soft, did you?
Yeah, let's see what it looks like in slow motion. I know she got it overhead, which was heartening, but watch the arms. Do they bend? Yes.
Yeah, I was just looking at the shaking more than... this will give me a better idea. Yes, you're absolutely clear on the right arm, yeah. Yeah, I should have spotted that.
But at least she got the bar overhead. We've had a sea of red lights here that we're trying to get to the end of, right? We'd like to get them land.
Mary, who's got a sister going in the super heavyweights, Ellie Opologi, who could actually surprise one or two. The Oceanic area, which is very much looked after by Paul Coffer, and doing a really good job in that part of the world. A lot of island activity, set up the new institute in New Caledonia, and really there's a buzz around the islands in the South Pacific, particularly for this sport, and I would say largely in the women's division.
Yeah, Marcus Stephen comes to mind, you know, as a man from that area who had significant success. Had a couple other guys too, but maybe more luck recruiting and being able to hold on to women.
Yeah, Marcus, who hails from Nauru, which is just off the Australian coast, the northeast Australian coast. Well, it's a couple of hours flying at least. But ultimately, his success in weightlifting and his travels around the world earned him the opportunity to become the country's president,
right? Which he
rightly took on, and with huge honour. Now, come on, Mary. 97 kilos. This is definitely within her range.
Right arm.
Again, I would say, yeah, this time I would say their right arm again, but where are they going to go? Well,
there's soft, and then there's just plain bad. Let's see if we get a shot from the front.
Well, I thought this was marginally better, but I still, yeah, that. What do you think?
I don't know. To me, the arm looked like it, you know, wiggled a little bit.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter what we say.
Exactly.
She's been given the lift, and
thankfully,
yeah, she's on her way. Chinese represented tonight by Tang Kuei, the Universiade champion of this season, won that in Shenzhen. little earlier, and is a lifter who's moving up into this class. She's had terrific success, the Chinese lifter, over the last couple of seasons at 69 kilos, but always difficult. The Russians have also got a talent, Svetlana Shimkova, who won the 69 kilo class last year, moving up. They have been quite honest about it, the Russians. They said if she gets anywhere near a medal or even a medal, that'll be just amazing. She weighed in at 69 kilos 20, so she's giving away an awful lot of weight here.
And maybe moving out, David, Kaolei is not here, right? Who we're used to seeing, and
Chao Lai, yeah, Chao Lai. Chao Lai, the Olympic champion in 2004 and the world champion in 6 and 7, and then again the Olympic champion in 2008. Another absentee, by the way, is Natalia Zabolotnaya of Russia, another major performer. Got an elbow injury and is scheduled to lift in the President's Cup in the middle of December.
Oh, is she? Oh.
Now, Japan's representative. We saw Hiromi Miyake earlier in the competitions in the women's 53 group. I thought she acquitted herself pretty well. Yes. And this woman has been improving as well. Imahoko, who was 3rd in the Asian Championships, steadies in that bottom position, drives up to take 100. And nice to see she's starting where she left off in the Asian Championships and indeed the World Championships last year, where she was down in 19th place, but better things hopefully to come for her.
Smoothly done left. Looks like she could do this all day long.
And just to put this all into context, of course, Haditsa Zakari of Nigeria, who had 2 failures at 115, pulled it out of the bag to get 115 kilos on the 3rd attempt. Svetlana Podobedova opening up on 125. An interesting Podobedova in the Kazakh Nationals, 135, 163 her numbers.
Whoa.
I mean, in a sense, we're hoping, can she go for yet another world record? Because she's taken world records or set the world records in the last 2 world championships as she's taken the title. So Mary Opologi putting 4 kilos on the bar and getting into the hundreds. Now this is definitely new territory for her. Maybe a bit fortunate to get the 2nd attempt, but
I think it was the best of the 3.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Randy. Great fun in the Commonwealth Games with all the athletes from all over the islands. Learned quite a lot about the South Pacific. Learned about a place called Nui.
See? Yeah.
I said to people, how do you get to Nui? They said, on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I said, how do you do? They said, that's the day the Air New Zealand flight goes in.
Yeah.
I said, when do you leave? They say, you leave on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I said, if you want to leave, canoe.
Yeah. Well, when the World's Arena Nauru was like that, and did they turn the one road or something into the landing strip?
Yeah. Right, representing Colombia now, Ubaldina Baloy is the Pan American champion. Experienced lifter, 29 years of age, representing Colombia, opening up on 103.
Boy, she stuck that.
Yeah, you know, you get people who are over-ambitious, and then you get people who lift at 103, which, you know, that's 10 kilos inside what she was lifting at the Pan Ams, and you sort of wonder to yourself, well, you know, should it have been a bit more? But it's all about your condition on this day at the time.
Yeah, I personally am in favor of seeing a higher success ratio here. I mean, we're seeing, like, what, roughly 1/3 of the lifts being good. I would say something like that.
But it's always worth remembering that what you did last year or earlier this year, the kilos that you get is a snapshot of what happened then. It doesn't really relate to what happens now. So 1 or 2 Japanese fans letting their presence be known. And 104 here. Now this will be a new personal best for her if she does this. And she has a bit of a history, Randy, of not putting too many good lifts in. Last couple of competitions, you know, 2 out of 6 percentages, not great.
Well, she'll fit right in. It's kind of interesting. I mean, she makes the lifts look effortless in that. It's as if she's not struggling now. There are not a lot of places where you can't struggle in the snatch, but this is weightlifting, and it's as if, well, maybe I'm arranging flowers or something like that. So, you know, activity completely different from.
So while we
pretty big weight.
While we got a moment, just to run down the field for you, the big star, the favorite, Svetlana Podobedova, the world champion for the past 2 editions. Tang Kuei of China, the junior world champion. Svetlana Shimkova, world champion last year at 69 kilos, moving up. Her Russian teammate, the European champion this year, Nadezhda Evshtukina. Then we got the junior world bronze medalist, Abir Abdel Rahman from Egypt. The 4th place in the Olympic Games was taken by Irina Kulesha of Belarus. And more to come. I'll pause there as Imahoko comes out onto the stage. But in their own way, everybody in this class tonight is an achiever.
You know, David, that's a good point. We've been fairly hard on some of these lifters because of the low success ratio, but this is a championships. You're absolutely right. All these people have achieved to be here. Just because they're not meeting our expectations, going 6 for 6, flashing world records on the board, doesn't mean that they're not worthy. They're doing great.
Waiting to participate is Kurmuk from Kazakhstan.
Pretty big class. I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Pretty big class, 12 lifters. This is kind of just the prelude, you know, for the fireworks that are really going to determine who stands on the podium at the end of the evening.
Indeed, and this, all the way from the People's Republic of Korea, is Kim Un-ju, probably at 21 the least exposed of all the competitors, and comes here after failing to get a total in the Asian Championships. She had 3 goes at 105 there, and she didn't get any of them, so we go again. Well done.
Her feet do not even move at the end of this lift. In fact, they don't move throughout this lift. She's got everything going on rails.
Do you know, I really enjoy, you know, when somebody's had a bad series and they come out first time on the stage, you can forgive them for being nervous and butterflies. You come out, she absolutely nailed that, and she put the past way back. Well done. Good start. Now, the young woman with the longest name, certainly in tonight's Anna Kurmuk from Kazakhstan. Very much the second string, and I don't mean that in a rude way, because she actually is the junior world silver medalist of this season, just 18 years of age, but she has the opportunity under Alexei Neve to understudy Svetlana Podobedova. 105 for her for a starter.
You'd say, you know, another well-coached lifter just knocks everything off, does the job, very professional execution.
Mind you, she's got some act to follow.
Yeah. Look at this, though. Nice lift. Got the game face on, delivers the goods.
Egypt, this is Abir Abdel Rahman from Alexandria, also still in the teens, 19 years of age. Had a couple of near misses, finishing 4th in the Junior Worlds this year and 4th in the Worlds last year, in Goyang in 2009. Benny Hansen right next to her there, the technical controller at the doorway, as you have a look at the Kazakh lifter. And 107 kilos on the bar here for Abia's opener. You can see the arms right out at the, almost at the extension of the bar here. Strong. Strong, workmanlike, no problem there, Randy.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. You brought that up. We've never talked about why is the grip so wide in the snatch. Well, part of it is most people do not have shoulder flexibility to get the bar overhead like that out wide. But glad you mentioned that. We take it for granted in weightlifting, but if you're watching it for the first time, why are the hands so wide? And it's for that reason. Increases the ability to get the bar overhead in that position.
Bar stays on 107 for the Colombian. She's represented her country at the Olympic Games, was 7th in Beijing, total up 244. This is still 3 kilos short of what she can do, but this is step by step. Second attempt. Very good. Just a little adjustment, but actually the placement initially from the pull off the ground was pretty good.
You know, I'm going to take first and second attempt with pleasure here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, look, a couple steps forward. Not a huge deal. He used the entire platform. Has to be motionless, waiting for the down signal from the referees.
You know, but keeping this in perspective now, you know, all these young women who are lifting at this particular moment aren't going to get anywhere near the Nigerian in the B group.
Yeah.
Haditza Zakari with 115 kilos.
Yeah.
110 kilos, please.
And this is going to be the first appearance of the Chinese lifter Tang Kuei, 20-year-old Universiade champion, the junior world champion, the runner-up at the World Championships last year, the junior world champion last year, but it was already at 60 kilos. So this, in its own way, territory.
Yeah, because others would say, you know, isn't that really a conservative opener? But that's the reason why.
And she weighed 72.82, so again, you know, there's room for her to take an extra kilo or two if she wants it. But this is step by step. But she is a proven winner. Lovely.
Smiles. Came out like a tiger, you know, leaves with a big smile. Very happy about that.
I mean, I know people have to be in the zone, but at the same time, I quite enjoy people who are, you know, enjoying themselves.
She took plenty of time, the Bob said, just make sure that she had everything secure before standing up.
One youngster so successful at 69 kilos to another one. Svetlana Shimkova, 28, obviously that much more experienced. The lightest of the class at 69 kilos, 20. What damage can she do at 75 kilos?
It looks to me like a lot just by that expression on her face.
Shimkova from Tatarstan in the Russian Federation.
So is she a local Kazan?
I'm not actually sure which part, but I'm...
Yeah, fairly would have to be at least fairly local then, right?
Tell you what, those... One of the things she's got this Infinity car, which is half a Mercedes and half a Toyota, and she bombs around in that. Alexei Nee always on the move. 110 kilos for his rising star, so he hopes. And again, Randy, this is another lifter who was last year plying her trade at 69 kilos. It's yet another lifter moved up to get the silver medal in the Junior Worlds in this weight category.
Yeah, she's taking care of business too. I mean, 105, successful, goes to 110, really fairly substantial increase. Yeah, they've got her in for, a nominal 111, which I'm sure will change, but she's performing. I'm sure Lexi's got a plan to bring her along slowly, and maybe we'll want to build on success.
While he's got Podibadova, he's got the luxury of being able to develop her at the optimum speed rather than over-pushing her. South American support in what I have to say is a crowded arena. One or two people made comments to us that you haven't actually seen the crowd. Well, take our word for it that it is a full house. It's just that it's very theatrical and it's dark, and if anybody put a television camera on it, you probably wouldn't see the people. But I promise you, it is absolutely full. Tickets sold out. Well done to the French. I'm disappointed there. I wanted her to get to that sort of 110, which is where she should be.
Yeah, I had two good lifts. Let's see if she swings the bar right there. She aims her hips into it, sort of with the hope maybe of lofting it a little bit, but instead gave it a boost that ultimately brought it behind her head.
Quatrième au jeu d'Est l'an passé.
Kim of Korea out for 111. Now this is a decent increase here. Six kilos. Move her up into the silver medal position momentarily. Very good.
Boy, on rails, you have a feeling that the North Korean team is probably very disciplined in execution of the lifts and not showing any extra emotion here. Watch this. Just puts the bar right where it should be, puts her body where it's supposed to be. Good lift.
Pleasing thing about it is, again, she's getting rid of all those horrible ghosts from previous competitions.
Making this look pretty easy too, don't you think?
Well, they've obviously worked on technique, because technique is premium in the snatch division, and she's getting the reward now, 2 out of 2, so that's really good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's a good comment. Snatch does have a lot of precision. There's not a lot of wiggle room in there for adjusting things if they're not on track out.
I don't have a clue, as you see Lydia Valentin from Spain coming out, as to what the Korean's personal best is, but on paper, as I've got it, I think that was a personal best. Now, the European bronze medalist did a total of 264 in Kazan, the most progressive competition of her career. Looking for a total of 260, needs to get off to this really good start, Lydia. 112. And the only Spanish lifter in a medal final here at these World Championships gets 3 white lights and puts some of those nerves away. You could sense the tension and nervousness in her. But now, got to come back down and focus after that, stay in the zone and build on that.
Yeah, absolutely right, David. I thought she almost seemed a little nervous too by her standards out there, and clearly relieved that first one on the board.
260 is a total. Where she do that, that's in with a shout of maybe a bronze medal. But she's got to make all the lifts now. Egypt 112 also, second attempt. Good for me, and that takes her up into third place in the race for the Snatch Gold. And the reason she's third is because she's just that bit heavier than Lydia Valentin, who you just saw lift 112 also. At the moment, still in the lead is our Nigerian from the B group, Haditha Zakari, with 115 kilos.
To the platform, second attempt.
Got rocked back on her heels trying to save that. Didn't work. Wasn't enough. She's losing the bar behind, getting rocked trying to save it. Can't do it. Has to release the bar anyway at that point, or her arm will go at the elbow. So the warm-up room on coaches studying the attempt board. It's where the chess game takes place. You can see they're making a change in weight. They're giving hand signals. A lot of strategizing here. You have to have a good coach, and this is what's called a platform coach.
So Shimkova looking pretty determined.
I think she comes out pretty fierce looking.
Yeah, I think that's the way that she exudes her confidence and aggression. I think she can do this. I think the weight isn't the issue. I think it was just technique. And I think the 113 well, it should be possible.
And misses that one out front.
Well, you see, when she won the World 69 kilo title last year, she actually picked up 116 kilos on the way to a total of 256. So she'll be disappointed with that. But I did say right at the beginning, Randy, you know, this is absolutely new territory, so they're not putting any pressure on her.
Is prepared.
Big lift, I think. Look, they've just popped it up another kilo, so they've got her in at 115. She was coming out for 114, this number 2 lifter for Kazakhstan.
Yeah, for Kazakhstan, well, I've still got it on 114. Have you got 115 there now?
Yeah, 115. That's why she's not coming out, but it shows their confidence in her. I don't have enough wind to try to pronounce the name, so. Yeah,
they must be mindful, though, of the Nigerian in that B group on 115. Nobody wants to fall below that. But this lady here, Kim Unju, 114, given her recent record, if she makes 3 out of 3, this will be super vindication. Give her all the confidence she needs. And so far they've looked good, the first 2 attempts, Randy. I mean, she's executed really well. But this will be a test. This really will be a test for her.
Oh, good for her. I wasn't sure she was going to say that. 3 kilo increase from the second attempt. You'll see the rotation in the bottom position. That's to keep everything aligned so that she can support the weight.
And that's really, you know, when you think about it, 105 conservative, 111 going for it, 114 into new territory. She makes all 3 lifts, deserves the reward.
Indeed. Nicely done. There's the rotation, and comes up.
But the rotation doesn't matter, providing the bar is still, the feet are straight and in line, all of those things done, and she finds herself at this particular moment in overall silver medal position in the snatch phase. But there are some really good lifters to come.
Yeah, Kurmuk in for what? Is it 125 as her opener?
125, and I think she's probably just cruising at that weight.
Right.
And it's really up to her. She's sort of sitting there waiting to decide where she wants to come in.
125, that opening snatch that's on the board for her right now, is the best clean and jerk, right, in the B session today. Just to give you an idea of her supremacy.
Noch, Iref, noch. Держи спину.
Irina Kulesha.
That was a nice lift.
Yeah, she's wearing a very similar competitor's suit to the Russian colors, actually.
Watch as she pulls this bar. Very smooth. Turn over the top is smooth. You can picture her stretching the bar. Makes it look easy. A little over 250 pounds, you know, and makes it look light.
Takes her into the lead because now, because of lighter body weight, she gets ahead of the Nigerian. And now, Anna Nurmukhambatova, 115 kilos. She's lighter than the lifter just before, so this is a game to go into first place.
Well, not quite. She made 2 lifts, 105, 110. Was in at 114, then went up to 115, and just wasn't quite there for her today.
Yeah, leaves her down in 8th place. So, same weight on the bar. This is the Egyptian lifter, Abdel. 3 kilo increase for her, 74.96. So this will just move her up from 5th to 3rd. But of course, this is a competition where the total is the most valued achievement. Never really got under it, and then everything was behind the bar, really, Randy.
Yeah, starts with a very wide foot position. Look at the foot spacing, you know, for her start. That right heel coming up, I don't think that does her any favors, losing contact that early, because she's probably losing power when she loses contact with the floor at that point.
So the mighty protagonists have yet to start. Podebedova for Kazakhstan and Evshtukina for Russia. Remembering that, of course, once upon a time, Podebedova was a successful Russian lifter.
Yes.
Now, Tang Kuei. 6 kilo increase to put her into the gold medal position. Nicely executed.
Little adjustment at the bottom. She'll shift over to the left in the bottom position. That's fine. You know, she had the ability to do that.
You like the way she's enjoying herself.
Yeah.
When you get someone enjoying that, it does actually tell you that there's a measure of confidence. It's very interesting when she comes out for a 3rd attempt, where, you know, she's got to go for it in a sense, to see whether the smiles are that wide and that broad.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's good comment. If people are really rigid, suggest they're really nervous about the weights.
Lydia picked up 122 kilos in Kazan at the European Championships. So again, if she wants to be in with the shout of overall medals, she can't afford to give this one away. She needs to use and make all three in this first half. Fifteen seconds. Good stuff. That was better.
Yeah.
That was better than the first one. Well done, Lydia.
Yeah.
You see, in the 2 times in her career when she's won a bronze medal at European levels, both times she's got 120 or more.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think, has Lydia ever medaled at the Worlds? I don't think she has. Yeah,
well,
has, I don't think.
No, she no totaled last year.
Yeah.
She got 112 in the snatch phase and then 135, 3 failures in the clean and jerk.
I can assume she will ask.
And you know, Randy, it's like everything. You know, you get off to a good start, the confidence is there, but also you get into a rhythm.
Right.
And people underestimate how important that is, the rhythm that you take into a competition. And that's where you feel that you're just sort of rolling on, the plan's really working for you. You know, little breath there to say, yeah, good.
Yeah.
Now, got to think about the third one now. Because they're going to push her on the third one. They have to push her on the third one to keep her there or thereabouts.
Yeah, she's got good momentum, I mean, in a larger sense, too, because remember the performance she turned in Kazan at the Europeans this year.
Yeah,
she really impressed us. I mean, it was a big-time performance by Lydia.
Well, it was 122, 142, 264. It was, to be honest, it was the best performance we've ever seen from her.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just hope she can have another stellar night here. Great there. Well, I said take my word for it, but there's some Kazakhs and Russians, and you can see it really is a full house.
And dramatic. You get a sense of the lighting.
Yeah.
And those lights that you see on the fans right now are usually down when the person's lifting. So it's really quite theatrical in here. Do you have a hand in arranging this, the staging?
No, but you know, Randy, we've always tried to work on this sort of staging for a long time.
Right.
To actually really emphasize the theatrical nature of the sport, the drama of the sport in a theatrical setting.
Right. You and I are kind of lone voices on that, though. That's why I thought you might have had a hand on this. It looks great here. It's hazardous walking up and down the stairs in the dark, I'll say that, but looks good.
Belarus, Irina Kulesha, and the bar has gone to 119 kilos. Well, I had 119. There's Svetlana Podebedova, who's, well...
There's a disagreement going on right now about who's coming out. I think what they're saying is 120 was already put on the bar when she was coming out for 119, and that they can't go back. Well,
which means
this out.
Well, it means if they go that way, then Kulesha actually loses a lift. If that's
if a lifter,
well, it's been settled in her favour, so that's good news.
Yes.
119. It's all about the relationship between the secretariat desk to the left of the lifter, as you see there, and the technical controller's desk outside. So 119 kilos for second attempt for Irina Kulesha. 30 seconds to go.
Okay, I know she stepped forward, but you know what? I had the feeling, well, that she was not rattled by any of that. Boy, she came out and just did another basically precise lift. I know she walked forward, but look at this. You know, that was a pretty big snafu going on there. She came out ready to lift. They whistled her back, you know. There was a disagreement about what they were going to do with the weight on the bar. She didn't let any of that affect her. She came out and did her job.
Interesting to see what she goes for next time. She close to her best. 120 would be just about the best we've seen from her, but Tang Kuei now for this third attempt. Now, this is interesting. This is again a 4 kilo increase. Now, do we get all the smiles, or are we a lot more serious this time?
I think she'll save the smiles for after. Could that break glass? We won't get the smile. Oh, I'm sorry. I was wrong. She still smiled. She said, I tried.
So it's a pity there, but she's in bronze medal position at the moment. I sense, though, a lifter with some promise. You know, she's only 20. She's new to the weight class. I think they've got a lot to work with there.
You know, we talked about Lydia Valentine at the Europeans. You know, she did 122 there.
Now, where we are now is Lydia has one lift left, so has Irina Kulesha, and then we've still got Evstukina and Podobedova to start. So what we're really witnessing here is the battle for arguably the bronze medal. So 120 kilos, this is a 3 kilo increase. She's actually lighter than Kulesha. Come on, stand still on that podium. Has to put the bar down on the podium. 3 out of 3. Now this is fascinating, Randy, because she put 120 on the bar. She holds on at the moment, you know, to that medal opportunity. But Kulesha has actually put 121 on the bar because she's heavier.
Yeah.
She's got to take that extra kilo.
Yeah. See, Lydia gets a nice lift, but Lydia is in the same position that she was in Kazan. 112 successful, 117 successful, went to 122 in Kazan.
Yeah. Now, Lydia's in gold medal position, 2 to start, the 2 big favourites. Kulesha makes this, then she's the one who's going to get the bronze medal for the snatch. If she doesn't, then Lydia has got the bronze medal in the snatch division of the World Championships. So it's either Spain or Belarus. It's Belarus.
See, and this is why I raised that. At this point, Lydia and her coach are going, maybe we should have gone 21 or 22 as we did in Kazan.
Well, that's the judgment call, isn't it? I mean, in a sense, Lydia's done nothing wrong because she's well in there still with a shout for overall honours. Also
going forward, just as Lydia had done, but also a good lift, but really turns the barn over well. But I think this is probably the end of the preliminaries, and I think the long ball hitters are getting ready to come out.
Absolutely right, and just around the corner, here she is, the world record holder. The world record holder in the snatch and the total, but not the clean and jerk. Rival tonight is the main contender in that particular phase. Svetlana Podobedova, 25 years of age, from Kazakhstan, formerly for Russia. She came from Zima in middle Siberia, the same town as Tatiana Magdieva, who was on the stage a year ago, and she's opening up as announced on 120. Oh, well, in fact, Evstukina.
Yeah.
Evstukina's coming out. So Evstukina from the Moscow suburbs. Coached by Natalia Shiraeva, who was a pretty decent lifter in the 90s. 10 seconds. 9.
Ooh. Whoa. Whoa. You know, just a reminder, put this in perspective, this is the biggest clean and jerk, basically, out of the B session. 125 kilos. Boy, she just made that look easy. Has pink fingernail polish, I noticed, which maybe she took a cue from Lydia. There's a lot of pink, right?
Evstukina, the reigning European champion from Kazan. And now Podobedova, who's gone to 126 kilos. A kilo up? Well, quite simply, she is heavier than Evstukina. So here she is, this former Russian lifter who switched after the Olympics in 2008 to Kazakhstan.
Well, we got a battle. Watch her start in the snatch. If you see the feet start together, start very close together, and then watch her jump them out. That's to help her get lower. Nice lift.
Svetlana Podobedova, who was a former two-time European champion for Russia, a junior world champion for Russia. But then, of course, there was a great women's 75-kilo competition in Doha in 2005 when she picked up 279 kilos in those days. But after that, she was found to have been a naughty girl, had a 2-year suspension, came back to Russia. This is Podobedova. They said, fine, you can compete, but you won't be representing us at the Olympic Games. She said, don't think much of that, and Kazakhstan offered her a new opportunity. Since then, she's flown. And all the records have been, you know, hers really, until Evstukina turned up in Kazakhstan and took the clean and jerk gold. So the job for Evstukina is to stick with Podobedova here. That's her task, and it's gone to 130 kilos. The world record is 134 kilos, owned by Podobedova, who set that in the World Championships last year in Antalya. And this will start to put a bit of pressure on Podobedova. If Evstukina does this, interesting. There's Sultan Karakotov. Well done, well done. Boy.
Making it look easy.
Now, I hope somebody gives her that silly number back because it's fallen off.
Yeah, but they've been sticking pretty well on this in this contest.
No, but you can get in a rule infraction which can really distract you if you don't have the number on.
Yeah.
And Podobedova will, I think, just put a kilo over this just to keep tabs on Evstukina.
Yeah, interesting though, because she's roughly in a position to, if things go well, take a shot at her world record in the snatch on the third attempt. I don't want to think too far ahead, but
Alexei looks slightly nervous to me. Well, this is one of his great talents in his Kazakh squad.
No need to be nervous. I think we're going to see a world record attempt on the third.
You know, when you think about it, Zulfira Shinshanlo in that, 53-kilo competition, and this woman, he's got two of the world's absolute top lifters. I mean, Zulfira has to be on the short list for Olympic gold, and so does this woman.
Boy, I mean, you can see why she's the world record holder. We've got some serious fighting going on here because we're in at 132 for Podobedova coming up next.
Well, the interesting, but the interesting is surely it's going to be Evstukina who comes out.
Exactly. That's the big but, and she's coming out for, I think, what, 33 maybe?
Yeah, because if Evstukina is going to do some damage, it's going to be in the clean and jerk. So what Evstukina wants to do is to stay as close as she can.
Yeah, she's just called for 133. Huge. I mean, that was that 1 kilo under the world record 134.
Absolutely, but also it's new territory for Evstukina on a competition stage. What she's done in the gym, completely different.
Right, because she cleaned and jerked 156 in Kazan for the gold medal.
Podobedova did 157 this season in the last season in the Asian Games. And she did 163 in the Kazakh Nationals. But this is not the Kazakh Nationals. This is the World Championship. Coming up to the 30-second buzzer.
I would have liked to have seen her make that. You know, it was 3 kilos above her second attempt, so you say, well, 3 kilos, but 3 kilos might end up looming large by the end of the evening.
Well, this gives an opportunity for Podobedova to do two things. She's a kilo ahead, she is the heavier lifter, and it's 1:35. She's gone for a new Snatch World record to increase her advantage, but also at the same time she'll be mindful that Evshikina has got the clean and jerk world record at 162 kilos, so therefore why take a chance? If she can set this new world record, then she gives herself a very useful cushion. She has a 5 kilo cushion over Evshikina.
Right. Because it's a world record, to her it's putting 4 more kilos into the bank going into the clean and jerk.
It's also extra wages.
Probably.
Certainly. Half a minute. Well, she didn't make it, and you know what that means? There's only a kilo between the Kazakh and the Russian.
I thought you were going to say the shopping trip was canceled. Yeah, you know, David, look, she fully expected to make that. You can tell by her reaction after. She really thought, oh man, how did I miss that? So she's obviously been hitting me on the gym.
But the game is on between these two now, because Evshikina, who might have felt a bit, down crested and fallen after her failure, now says, well, hang on a second, I've done 162, they say she's done 163 in the nationals, that means we must be pretty close.
Yeah.
So if I can outfox her, and I've got the lighter body weight, this gold medal, the hat trick of World Championships, may not be so easy for Podobedova, and she knows it.
Yeah, see, this is a bad way for her to be going into the clean and jerk. She's taking this pretty seriously. We'll see if she just shakes it off.
There we have it, Podobedova, 131, a kilo ahead. Then you drop down to Kulesha, who's 10 kilos off the lead, just ahead of Lydia Valentine. They're fighting out for the bronze medal. In there as well is Tang Kuei of China, and look at that, Haditsa Zakari from Nigeria, from the B group earlier today, up into 6th place in the snatch rankings. But actually, it looks between the top 2 for gold and silver, and then Kulesha, Valentine, and Kang for the bronze medal. So good competition.